It's time to move and be moved by the savings you'll find at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-5, or Mazda CX-50 and get 2.9% financing for 60 months. It's time to experience Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Well, dance.
Come on.
Come on, dance.
I need some White Stripe music.
That's not a dance. That's like a stroll. That's like a mosey. That's like a session.
Look at him, mosey on over.
We're playing it before.
Okay.
Okay, so why the White Stripes? Or educate
Well,
the people?
the White Stripes has been around apparently long enough to qualify for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
2025
I did not know
inductee
that.
class.
Yeah,
They're one
wonderful.
of 7 artists
Yeah.
being inducted.
Cyndi Lauper in there.
Yes, Chubby Checker,
in there.
Outkast.
Okay.
What is it,
Honorable
20 years,
mentions?
25 years?
25 years.
gotta be. Yeah.
And then
I'm
the
actually-
White Stripes, 25.
I'm actually surprised. Am I the only one that's surprised that Chubby Checker's
Oh,
first
wasn't
getting?
already in there?
Wasn't he already
Yeah.
in there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did it take so long?
It's a good
right?
question.
Now you can go in as like a solo, member of a group,
Okay,
these
okay.
kinds of things. So like you have
Good
a Phil Collins is probably in there as solo
Good
and
point.
part of Genesis or whatever. It's kind of the same thing with. Oh gosh, what am I thinking of? Oh, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You can have multiple stars.
Yeah.
Because they have like a few different categories.
I didn't know
Just
that.
depending
did
on
not
what
know that
genre.
either.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can have a few
Okay.
different because they've got like film and TV and radio from back in the day. And anyway, way off topic.
Well.
But that is an awesome bass line.
Yeah, it
White
is. We were
Stripes.
just talking about that
Yeah,
iconic
and the
line.
reason we're talking about it is because you mentioned like 10 people, 10 groups that are going to be
7
inducted.
of them.
Seven.
Yeah.
7 of them inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Yeah.
Outkast is one of them for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
I'm
too.
really glad he deserves
Yes.
it. He is a lyrical genius, a poet. I would put him right there with like Kendrick Lamar, just like a wordsmith.
Yes, that would be really cool to see. So that ceremony is actually happening in November, so we'll find out what leads up to it and how they make their decisions. Because what's interesting is there were 2 nominees. We're talking about Warren Zevon and Salt and Pepper.
Zevon.
Yes,
Werewolves
Zevon.
of London.
Yes.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
I was asking y'all, is that the original song that Sweet Home Alabama sampled after? It's got the same underlying melody,
sounds
doesn't
like
it?
it.
We were talking about that earlier as well, to your
Yes.
point. And I think sampling happens so often
These days,
now.
yes.
I
you know?
think it's the other way around.
But
You think?
it wasn't
I
as
think it's
big of a
the other
thing
way
back in the day because it wasn't everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Music is everywhere. Every genre, every song, every lick and
Yes.
lyric, you can find anywhere now. It wasn't the case back
palm
then.
of your
You had
hand.
like one place to find it.
Right.
And so not everybody was hearing everything. It was more original back then. There's more sampling now. There's more, certainly lawsuits about the sampling now. But I don't know. Everybody kind of, it was the same kind of time frame.
I'd be curious which came first.
I think
That's
Sweet Home
interesting.
Alabama was first,
Yes.
and then Werewolves of London. So
Okay.
if anything,
If it was the other
way
one,
around,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm glad you actually mentioned lawsuits because they do happen. I'll never forget one that caught my eye. Early 90s, you remember Vanilla Ice. Ice Baby.
Yes.
But if you know the other song by the Talking Heads, Under Pressure, it has that dun 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 dun.
Right.
And Vanilla
love
Ice
him.
said it
Oh
was
my
different.
God.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, it's not,
Do
dude.
it.
It's the same. Dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. And there's a ch. And he said the ch is what made it different.
I remember the interviews back in the day with like MTV.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
wow.
kind of thing.
When they
Back
actually
when
played
it was
music
hilarious.
videos?
Because he goes, yeah, so their song is dun 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 dun. Mine is dun 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 dun. And the judge is like,
It's almost like putting vitamin D in a drug and calling it a different drug. But yeah, and I'm so familiar with the ASCAP and BMI laws, and I
you have to
support
be,
those.
yeah.
But did you know that if you take for instance, have a big restaurant, you got a big restaurant with a lot of tables, and you have ceiling speakers, right? And you have a little radio in the back where all those ceiling speakers are plugged into the earpiece, and you're piping the music to the ceiling speakers. You have to pay ASCAP.
Sure.
But if you take 5 radios and set them in 5 different spots inside the restaurant, tune them all to the same station, you don't have to pay ASCAP.
Really?
because you're playing something from another source that's already it was already paying ASCAP. You're essentially
guess, I
turning
don't
on a
know.
TV or turning on a
Take
radio.
one of those radios and just plug it into your house speakers, you got to pay ASCAP.
Okay.
If you sit the 5 radios
I
around
thought
the
you were
room
playing
and
your own
tune them in this
stuff.
thing, you don't have to pay ASCAP.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Fine details.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? If they're going to come after
So if
you,
you
you
see
got
a
to know the
radio
semantics.
inside a restaurant or a public facility, and it's tuned to a radio station, and you're going, why don't they just pipe this into the speakers? That's part of the reason, probably why.
Good
Interesting.
trivia fact
The
for
nachos
you.
would cost a lot more money.
Wow.
Right?
Taco Tuesday.
Which it is, by the way. Or is it Tequila Tuesday?
Yes,
What's
please.
in that cup?
All of that.
We got questions.
Oh, stop.
See.
You can't see in there.
Cinco de Mayo Monday.
I was going to say, Cinco de Mayo's coming
right
up.
on
Can
the
you
corner.
believe it's May already?
I cannot.
It's
No.
feeling like May. It's starting to feel like
is starting
summer.
to feel
But
like
we
it.
were just talking about this. I can't believe we are this far into the year, almost in the 5th month of 2025.
And you said 5th, and we're starting to work on our 5th season. I was like, hurricane season. I don't even
yeah.
want to think about that right
No,
now.
we sure
Well, I
don't.
guess we should probably. All right, so speaking of the weather, how are we looking? Actually, what are you giving us a look at right now? You got it tuned, your Sky 9
Know
camera
where that's
network
at.
to
I've been on that bridge.
Take
That's
us
right,
there.
yeah, this is a Johnny Asian favorite,
Oh,
Bay
no.
St. Louis.
Which one is his yacht?
Yeah, Johnny. Which one's
Third
yours?
from the left.
Oh,
a
excellent.
little
Why
ding.
aren't we partying on it right now at this moment? Thank you so much, Sky 9. Thank you, Johnny. And yes, you are looking live. Beautiful shot over there. We've got nice weather over here, but a little touch of fog, maybe a little bit of haze out in the sky. Yesterday, all the way up to 88. Today, we're probably going to do the exact same thing. We could even be a touch warmer, and that's going to be close to record territory. Today's record high, 91. Tomorrow's record high, 92. I don't think we're going to snap those per se, but we're definitely going to be very close to it. Meanwhile, the Mississippi River, Red River landing at moderate. The Baton Rouge right now is at major, but it is expected to go down after its peak. That's going to be this Thursday. So starting this weekend, it's going to start to finally go back down towards normal. We got a severe thunderstorm warning box up in between Wichita, north of Dallas-Fort Worth, over Oklahoma. All that bad weather is going to stay put out there to the west for the next day or two. Our highs here, again, are going to be in the upper 80s and lows in the upper 60s. Our next chance of rain probably won't be until Thursday afternoon, and that's when we start to see this severe threat. Not so much in our viewing area. As a matter of fact, as you see here, the majority of our viewing area is not involved in this whatsoever. But out towards Point Capee, you can see that little sliver of green right there. That's level 1 marginal risk then. Showers and thunderstorms possible Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and then Friday might be our best chance of wet weather as a cold front, or maybe I should call it a cool front, comes to town. It looks like that front will clear the area going into the weekend, but I don't think that's going to drop our temperatures. The only thing that it could drop are our dew points as we start to see, there we go, now a dew point down to 59 for Sunday. So I think that bodes very well for Sunday. That means it's going to be at the very least a lot less humid, maybe even a couple degrees cooler. Yeah, we definitely like that. Rain amounts over the next 7 days, not bad, mainly around a ½ inch, all 7 days put together. But no rain for today, starting in the upper 60s, working to 88 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And again, for tonight, it looks like it's still going to be relatively mild and muggy, but still no rain. We'll call the low 69 degrees. Hopefully we will get down that far. If you're heading out to baseball at the box, the Southeastern comes to town, it is going to be very warm. The 6:30 start time, it's still going to be 83 degrees at the start of that ball game. Meanwhile, looks like a couple of thunderstorms. Better chance Friday right now. And as we get to the weekend, hold on to your outdoor weekend plans because I think they're really looking good. And I got to tell you, this 20% that I'm clinging on to on Sunday, I might actually cut that out. I might drop that. And then Cinco de Mayo looking good. And the rest of the forecast relatively quiet. That's good news. 7:10 right now, Johnny A. The roads look like they're okay.
They really are. Not bad. Getting some backup on 12 coming out of Denham. That's our normal morning drive backup. And then when you get a little closer to the 1012, still have a couple of vehicles left over from an earlier morning crash on the right side of the interstate past Essen before the 1012. That's on I-12. Take you right on down. You can see a little bit of that brake tapping. And then our other wreck is on Airline Highway southbound right past the Bluebonnet Coursey interchange. You see where Arnold is. This is the little road Arnold that cuts from Airline Highway over to Jefferson Highway right there by BRQ, and that's where that wreck is right there. Police officer has moved that into the parking lot a little bit off of the roadway. So there's Airline southbound. That's Arnold right there, and right before that the police officer took that vehicle and they're working that wreck in that little parking lot right there. So no backups on Airline associated with that. Watching 9 News now. A few headlines coming up next. Stay with us.
Folks, 7:12 your time right now. Following still breaking news this morning, a late night shooting in Baton Rouge. Liz, this is near the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
Let's take you to the video here. So what you're seeing is right outside the facility there at Cortana. The East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office identified there the victim in this shooting. We're told one person was killed, now identified as 21-year-old Dalen Anthony. Now, for EMS, BRPD, we're still reaching out to different agencies to figure out what led to this shooting here. If you happen to have any information, they're asking you to call Crime Stoppers right now as that investigation gets underway.
Expecting a big announcement from Governor Jeff Landry today. Louisiana economic development, maybe a $17.5 billion energy investment. What does that involve? We expect the governor and others to step to the microphone at 11:30 this morning. We'll follow that for you.
Hey, a reminder to get your absentee ballot if you plan on voting with an absentee ballot for this Saturday's election. Today at 4:30 is the deadline to get one from the Registrar of Voters office. You have until Friday at 4:30 p.m. to turn it back in. Completed election day is this Saturday.
BRCC, Baton Rouge Community College, huge open house. They are partnering once again with ExxonMobil. Do you want to be a welder? Do you want to be a plumber? I mean, these are great jobs. They pay great money almost immediately. Our Matt Venezia was live this morning talking about a big open house coming up that you can be a part of.
Tonight, 4:30 to 5:30, it is BRCC's Acadian campus. Tonight, you can actually meet with the instructors, students currently going through the program, and potential employers to get you that direct pipeline to a job right after you finish that program. You see what I did? Yeah, pipe fitting that pipeline.
Exactly.
You saw Matt welding this morning?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's fun. Unbelievable.
We got to check to see if he's still got his facilities.
If
Make
he's
sure
got
all
all his,
good.
hopefully he's got his fingers, his toes, and he's got himself a trade now. Look at
He's
that.
well protected. I want to see the bead. I want to see how
good it was.
nice
It
that
is so
bead
fascinating to always watch that process, isn't it?
It
A
is.
good skill.
It's one of those skills that, man, it's impressive. It really is. Every time you see it
Speaking
done
of the
correctly.
devil, here he comes.
Okay,
Walking
stand
in the
by,
back
stay with
room.
us. You got to come back at noon to find out if he's got everything.
What?
Hey, 9 o'clock, actually.
What's that?
If it's truck savings you're looking for, then that's what you'll find at Team Toyota. Like a new Tacoma for just $299 a month. Or get 2.9% financing on a new 25 Tundra or $3,000 customer cash. You'll find these savings and more right now at Team Toyota. I-12 at O'Neill.